Welcome, English 112 students, to week 7. I hope you had a good weekend and you're ready to move on to week 7. Week 7 is preparing us for the submission of the rhetorical analysis essay. A first draft of that essay will be due next week in the peer review forum for C9. So I want to go ahead and make you aware of that. That's due on next Tuesday of October 7th, a week from tomorrow, that you should have a draft of that peer review posted in the C9 peer review forum. If you don't have it posted on that day, it will be a minus 20 points right off the top. The replies of the two peer reviews will be due 2 days later, a couple days later. So make sure that you post on time so you can get reviewed and get some good feedback. That's next week, not week 7, week 8. For week 7, looks like we're looking at a couple different assignments here. C6 is the pre-writing assignment for the rhetorical analysis. That's a Blackboard assignment. It's due on Tuesday the 30th. On the 3rd of October, you have your assignment instructions and resources for the rhetorical analysis essay. That's just a folder where you click and mark review that you have looked at the assignment and the resources. If you look at that assignment and resources and have any questions, please reach out to me. The other one that's due this week is C8, Claiming Voice. That's an e-text and connect assignment that's due on the 3rd of October. Again, I wanted to remind you about the rhetorical analysis essay draft that's due on the 7th of October. Don't forget that. And grading is ongoing. Remember, checking your feedback will help you when you're writing further assignments. So I will be getting a lot of grading done this week, and I'll get those back to you as soon as possible so you can use that feedback. Let's take a look at C6, 7, and 8. If you go down to the C module, you're going to see C6, 7, and 8 are right here on the schedule. The pre-writing assignment, that Blackboard assignment. C7 is the thing where you mark review, and C8 is completing the e-text and assignment. So if we scroll down to C6, it tells you the pre-writing assignment. It says using those skills you've been developing during this unit. Complete the pre-writing assignment in this folder to prepare you for your rhetorical analysis essay. The folder includes the assignment instructions, samples, and also the submission link. Take a look at this. We'd like for you to select an argument to analyze. Find an argument that's on your project topic that you're going to analyze. It could be one of the sources from your annotated bib, but you're also allowed to pick something that's new as long as it still goes toward your topic that you selected to write about for the semester-long problem that you're going to solve. Because a rhetorical analysis is an analysis of an argument, you should make sure that your source is actually making an argument. Don't choose a fact sheet or something that's straight informational. You want something that's making an argument. In other words, people are going to use ethos, logos, pathos, and you'll be able to analyze those things. If they don't use those things, then you won't find anything to write about, and your rhetorical analysis will not complete the objectives for the course. Once you've chosen that source, you analyze the source by answering the questions below that are about your source. You may write as little or as much as you'd like for this assignment, but keep in mind the more you write now, the more you have to work with when you write the paper. You also do not have to quote from your source for this pre-writing, but adding quotes or adding page numbers of quotes that you want to include in your rhetorical analysis essay could also help you as you write, since you have to incorporate those in the essay itself. So the more you do now, the less you have to do later. This is a pre-writing. It's meant to help you get your initial thoughts on paper and to prepare to write the full analysis. Answer the questions below and save the document, upload it as the pre-writing link for grading. So you're going to see that you have to cite the source you're going to use for the essay, provide a complete APA references page citation for that source. Write a sentence that could be found in an essay about the source using the narrative in-text citation feature. Write a sentence that could be found in an essay about the source using a parenthetical in-text citation. So remember, the two ways to cite are either in the sentence itself, according to Mills, blah, 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 or the information with the parenthetical parentheses citation with Mills's name at the end of the sentence. We'll then summarize the source and analyze the content by answering these questions, talking about the main claim, identifying the reasons, and then how's it organized. After that, you'll look at the audience. Who is the audience? Learn all you can about the publication and the audience here. Who is the anticipated audience? You're using all the assignments you've done up to this point to figure out this information. How do the occasion and the form for writing affect the argument? And then you're looking at style and arrangement. Is it formal, informal, satirical, something else? Is it presented in a way that furthers the purpose of the author? Then you're looking at what the medium and the genre is. Is it a newspaper, a journal, a website? Is it an editorial, an essay, a speech, or an advertisement? And then that larger conversation. Through research, find out what else is being said about the subject, track down any references made in this text that you're examining, and when did the argument appear? What other concurrent pieces within this cultural conversation does the item you are analyzing respond to or answer? In other words, is this talking back to something else? Think of the author of the item you're analyzing as facing a challenge. What barrier does the author have to overcome in order to persuade his audience? Then you analyze the appeals, the ethos, logos, and pathos by following the steps that are here. The pre-writing assignment samples are here and here, and then there's a pre-writing assignment sheet. Follow the instructions on the pre-writing assignment sheet and submit the pre-writing here for your chosen source. There are 2 samples of the completed assignment to assist you. Notice that these samples are provided so you can see how students have done the assignment in the past. They're not here for you to copy. You should not, in any circumstance, use identical phrases, structure, or paragraph examples as the same examples you're seeing now. All right. So that's what you have to do for the C6 assignment. C7 is nothing but the essay assignment instructions that you're going to be working on for next week. So if you go ahead and take a look at C7, you'll see that this explains exactly what the assignment does. It's going to be giving us an analysis of one of the sources that you are identifying to be used in your paper later. The requirements are here. Here are some examples for you to look at. And then, of course, the grading rubric is as follows. If you have any questions about this assignment, please read over that information and ask me. We can talk about it via email, via text message, or a meeting on Teams, whatever you'd like to do. After that, the only thing left for the week is the claiming voice assignment, which requires that you read chapter 33 and then look over the C8 assignment, completing all the objectives in time to be graded. That's all I have for you this week. I hope that there's no questions, but if there are, please let me know, and I'll make sure that I get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for your attention, and have a good week.